Good afternoon, Eric here, and I had some things I wanted to start off with today, along with our study, so to speak, sort of like live in person. Um, that I'm trying to share with you as I beat mental illness, um, and I got motivated to do this specifically today from last night when I talked with my daughter. Um, I called her because I was depressed. I was really experiencing depression. And like to the point of sobbing. and but and she even said this, which was awesome, and I want to share with you. Sometimes you need those people in your life to remind you what is your why. And with me, it was, oh my God, was it strengthened last night after I got off the phone with her and kind of recovered a little bit from that emotional drop. Um, so let me start off by saying this. To those of you who don't understand mental illness, but, just because, I don't expect you to if you don't live it, but have friends and you wish the best for them and you want things to get better, medicine is a short-term fix. It is not a forever cure. It serves its purpose. It's a lot like painkillers. You take them because you have pain. You know, they're necessary in the short term. Ultimately, what's causing the pain needs to be healed. If it's not, you become addicted to medicine the rest of your life. And for those of you looking in on the outside, to those of us who struggle, that is the best way to think about it, okay? Doctors, like my psychiatrist, could care less. I shouldn't say doctors like all of them, but 95% I really believe could care less about really curing and helping patients heal, at least in my world of mental illness. All they really want to do is medicate. They want to numb you. And that's what it does. It numbs your life. When you're on them, you're numbed. You're not the real person in a way. You're numbed. Yes, they serve the purpose just like a painkiller does. They are preventing the worst case pain. But if we stop there, we're not helping anybody. We're not helping anybody. And one of the whys, the thing that my daughter got me thinking about is, why am I doing this? Is it just to feel better? Because you know what? I can sit on meds. I want more for my life. But even more so, an interesting thought came to me, a sort of like who I am. What is my real why, right? What is underneath the reason to work on my mental health? And I'm going to tell you right now, it's you. Because I feel like we have been effed by society. People got lazy. Nobody wants to help the sick. And we are sick. But you know what? We can get healthy. I know it. I believe it. We can get healthy, but we have to embrace it. And we have to embrace it, okay? I am sitting here with criminal record because does anybody, would somebody arrest you out on the street because you had diabetes? No. I'm not a criminal. But my mental illness acted out. And cops could give a crap. They really don't give a shit, frankly. Our legal system doesn't give a shit. I'm just going to be as raw as I can about this. They don't give a flying fuck about you. You have to be the one to stand up and say, I am tired of being treated like crap by society. Now, I think there are a few good people floating around. I think there's a few good cops. There's a few good of everything. But the system that we are in is not here to help you. It's here to shut you up and get you out of society, lock you up or put you in a hospital, or medicate you so you're so numb you're not you. So if you're okay with all that, then shut this off. For a short while, a couple years, one of the things that I got educated in and about was peer recovery support. Okay, peers, in other words, that term meaning people that have a mental illness, that would be identified as having lived experiences with those who struggle, who then learn various techniques and strategies and ways of living and thinking that are behavior management. They are very valuable. They are not the end. They're like medicine. They are not the end. We have to keep pushing. Now, I want to share a lot of that with you a little, over time, and I want to talk about that today. Okay. One of the programs that I got specifically a little more keyed into was the Wellness Recovery Action Plan. Okay. WRAP, WRAP. All right. And I had talked about there are some sort of, overlying principles that guide the parts of WRAP, that guide the program of WRAP. Okay. The plan, Wellness Recovery Action Plan, that override the plan. And I touched on those. I'm gonna repeat them here, but I want to talk about the first sort of section of it, which is the wellness toolbox. But what are the big pictures? Well, hope. All right, hope is one of them. Hope. If you don't have hope, why bother? Okay, why bother? Thank you so much. Thank you to the psychiatrists who I have been researching, the doctors who I have been researching and reading up on now with regard to how this plan, the ketogenic diet, can actually help us actually get healthy. Okay, I'm going to start using the word cure. It can be replaced with remission, which I've heard a lot, which is okay. I don't care. But you know what? If it goes away, you're cured. Now, it can come back, and that might be a genetic thing. But if it goes away, you're cured. And I'm focusing on that. This is not like a temporary fix. The word remission almost makes me think that, and I've been thinking a lot about it. Like it's temporary. Like, oh my God, it might be in the back corner, but it's in remission now. No, you know what? We're getting rid of this shit. I'm getting rid of it. Okay? It's absolutely something that not only am I going to do, I want you to do it. Because we need to stick together. The doctors aren't on our side. The system in our society with regard to the laws are not on our side. Cops don't give a fuck about you. The system doesn't give a fuck about you. The legal system just wants to punish you. The doctors just want to medicate you. Let's get better. Let's get better together. I want you to get better. I want to get better. I hate this life. And I hate to say hate. But you know what? It sucks shit. And I'm tired of it. I'm fucking pissed off. I'm tired of it. I'm sitting here with a criminal background because nobody looks at you as being sick. Oh, well, you broke the law. Okay? I didn't mean to. I'm struggling. But nobody cares about that. So you have to care about it. I care about you caring about it. Now, the Wellness Recovery Action Plan. Couple quick concepts that I wanted to just run down. Hope is one of them. Thank you, doctors, for giving us this hope. The doctors that are out there. Thankfully, there's a few of them, okay, that are actually pioneering the research that explains why we are sick, but we can heal. Okay, so yes, I understand if that was not something that had been discovered, we'll say, well, it's hard. I mean, yeah, I want to keep focusing on getting better, but hope is there. Okay, hope is there. You have to take responsibility for you. You do. Nobody else is really going to care. Okay, just I understand that there's kind of a laziness. How did Spock put it? The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, right? But and so I understand that, like, the cops have to, get you out of society if you're causing problems. Okay, well, they don't care about you. I do understand the big picture, that you can't be in the way of people that aren't struggling. I understand that when you've got hundreds of thousands of people struggling with mental illness, that a doctor, the psychiatrist, just wants to get you, stable, but I think we've lost our way a little bit, where there's nobody cares anymore to dive deeper. So you have to be responsible for you. It's never changed. It's just that it's more obvious, maybe, to me. Okay? Now, what's the way that you do that? Well, you have to educate yourself. And I'm learning, okay? I'm not educated like I know it all. What I recommend is that you do what I do. If you're interested in getting healthy, then start learning. Start learning. Google it. Thanks to the internet. Might be the only thing I can thank Bill Gates for, I guess, in terms of technology and computers, or maybe I should thank Al Gore, but whatever. The stuff's right there for you. When I was a kid, you had the big encyclopedia sets, right? A to Z or whatever. Like, I never read them. Crap. But today it's so simple, right? And yeah, you might find 2 or 3 people that don't know what they're talking about. Keep going. Use your own discernment. Okay? Use your own discernment. I've had over 3 months of working on this, and I can tell you there is so much consistency with the information. Okay, my psychiatrist just wanted to call it crackpot. That's my psychiatrist. He said what I was learning to do with this diet was just crackpot crap. They were his words, not mine. Crackpot crap. So that's my experience. Now, you have to educate yourself. You can't trust them to do it. I went to him for years, but I never asked him for anything more than medication. So, all right, so you have to be responsible for you. You have to take responsibility. That's part of the RAP program, okay? And you have to educate yourself. That's the first step to getting to, being responsible, right? You have, okay. Alongside education, you need to also have a circle of support. Okay? We all need friends, and we all need help. And You have personal responsibility involved, but one of those capacities of that responsibility is to search out friends that will support you, that will understand, hey, you're just sick. I mean, let's get healthy. Okay? And if you have troubled days, reach out to me. Now, one of the things that I think is important within that circle of friends is don't just have one. Okay? You don't want to burn out that friend. So you want to try and have a few. Now look, if you got nobody, and I know from my own life, you tend to lose friends because you burn bridges. I get it. You got to get better. Okay? This world of getting better for us, we don't have room for excuses. So if you want to make excuses, you can, I love what my regional director in real estate says to me. You can either make excuses or make results. Like, which one do you want? Do you want to just sit there and whine and make excuses, or do you want to have results? Let's have results. You don't have friends, start developing relationships. Okay? Many of us in this world, want support. We want friends. Be somebody else's support. Start there. Okay? And then the last thing I want to share with regard to the 5 principles of the Wellness Recovery Action Plan. Okay? Is that you need to advocate for yourself. Self-advocacy. I'm going to go back to the thing I said a few minutes ago. Our society right now is not ready to support us. Okay? Cops just want to lock you up. The law just wants to put you in jail or give you fines or give you punishments or whatever. Okay? They have a misguided perception that somehow, well, if we do all that, like, he'll change his ways. Like, that's stupid. Our system's stupid. Okay? My father would have absolutely, in my opinion, been against what I see happening legally with Donald Trump. And my father hated Donald Trump. Okay? It's one of the few things he and I used to argue about. Now you know my politics, and you know my dad's. It doesn't matter. There's right and wrong. Our system is broken. You have to advocate for yourself. You have to look out for you. Okay? And I look at this a lot like when you fly in an airplane and they tell you that if the pressure is broken in the cabin and the oxygen mask comes down, what do they tell you to do? Put it on you first. So that you can then help someone else. Right? Okay. You have to advocate for yourself first. Get yourself good. Get yourself healthy. Get yourself together. Okay, I'm struggling with all of those things. But I understand that I can't help others unless I get better myself. And one of the things that I've developed in the last few months that I think I want to start pushing for is reaching out into the faith communities with regard to this. Okay, that's a personal goal. And the reason is because in my life, if I hadn't had God, I'm not sure I'd be even here sitting here. I'd probably just be in jail. God's been there for me. Thankfully. So, I owe it. I owe it back. I owe it back. So, now, there are the 5 principles. I want you to take heart to them, okay? Only you can make you better. Nobody in society is going to want to make you better. They're going to want to shut you up, lock you up, medicate you. So I'm here to tell you, I don't want that for me, and I don't want that for you. And I don't think that's good for your families either or your friends. So, as part of God's world, as part of our world, the best thing for me to contribute to this society is to take those of us that are sick and give you some ideas on how to get healthy. Let's get healthy together. All right. I'm going to leave you with some thoughts around the wellness recovery action plan's next step. The next step are wellness tools. This is kind of a no-brainer in one respect. Take it extremely personally. Okay. Wellness tools are nothing more than tools that make you feel well. Really, really simple, right? Don't overcomplicate this. Okay, now, it's okay to start off with things, and I'm going to say this right up front. If there's some things out there that make you feel well that are not healthy, let's start with them. But know and understand and be responsible long term, that may not be the best wellness tool. Okay? But look for wellness tools that help you feel good. I mean, holy hell, it ain't that complicated, right? A 3-year-old can figure this crap out, right? So, but you know what? As adults, we overcomplicate things. What makes you feel good? So I've told you guys before, Jimmy Buffett puts me in a dream state of getting the hell out of here. Like, I want to live in Florida. One day I will. I want to live down there. Jimmy Buffett, every time I listen to him, I think about it. I think about palm trees and beaches and sailing. Sailing brings back my dad a lot. my dad used to like sailing. Anyway, all right. I want you to think about things that are well. This is what I'm going to leave you with right now. There aren't wrong answers here. Okay, there really are not. There are not wrong answers. If it makes you feel good, then put them down on your list of wellness tools. It can be music, it can be specific music, it can be pictures, it can be doing crafts, it can be talking with friends, it can be going out in the sun, it can be, spending time with your pet. It can be watching, The Walking Dead. I love The Walking Dead. But, there's things about it I love. So I want you to make a list of wellness tools. That's your next goal. Now, I want to get healthy. You need these things to help get you over humps. And I don't even think these are like only for mental illness things. I mean, everybody honestly should incorporate so much of the RAP plan into their life, whether they are diagnosed or not. I mean, who the hell doesn't want to feel well, right? I mean, so this is kind of like a life skill. These are life skills, but they are specifically been developed or designed or whatever to help us hone in on getting ourselves together. Okay, so wellness tools. I've got a list of 100 of them here from a RAP class that I was teaching some years ago. But like I said, you don't need to overcomplicate it. Just take a minute and sit down and think to yourself, when I don't feel great, what makes me feel better? That's all. All right, now I'm going to stop there, and then I want to just take a few minutes to talk about the diet. All right. We're into May 7th. All right, I'm down to 143. Okay. One trick that I identified in myself here just recently, okay, is we want to stop overeating. And when I say overeating, I mean eating things just when we're not hungry, like just because it tastes good, right? I've talked about sugar being in so many things, and it helping us want to eat more. Like it's the reason you take extra bites. Okay, so there's sort of just recognizing that. Start looking at the foods that you consume and think to yourself, do I want more of it just because it tastes good? Right? Let's start looking at eating as a, to put energy in our body to get to the next moment, right? Not because, oh, it tastes great, okay? We will have treats incorporated into our lives, okay? And that's earning a treat. There's, in my opinion, thus far, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but just be really careful about earning it, okay? What you define as earning that treat. So for with regard to moving forward with your with a diet, this diet, the ketogenic diet, we just want to try and cut some foods out that you generally consume only because they taste good, right? And I've even noticed in myself, and I'll leave with this. You don't know what you really love until you go without it for a while. Okay? So I've learned this in my own life. I'll give you an example. Pop-Tarts. I used to love Pop-Tarts in the morning. Okay? It was lazy. It was simple, easy. Grabbed a pack of 2, ate them with my coffee. And, I guess it put food, like, something in me to keep me, like, whatever, right? But I don't crave them anymore. I didn't crave them then, but what I mean is I'm sitting here, I haven't had Pop-Tarts in 4 months, roughly, and I don't crave them, okay? And this is what I think is important for you guys to understand. Until you stop eating some of the crap food that you just consider sort of habitual, maybe, until you start, your body won't start realizing what you do crave and what you don't crave. If I crave Pop-Tarts, I would just tell you, look, I crave them. Like, I would love to have one. And I'm going to set that aside as something that will be a treat for me one day. Okay? Used to eat them. I don't crave them. I don't miss them. There are some foods I crave that I miss. Absolutely. Okay? It's okay. You will have this big group of crap food that you've been consuming. But only a little bit of it is going to be like, oh, that's what I really miss. Okay, that's what I really miss. I don't miss all this other crap. I can cut all that crap out. But I really miss that. Okay? I don't really miss desserts. Like after dinner desserts, like ice cream or cake or, I don't really miss donuts, which I used to get in the mornings too. Look, I'll admit it. There are things I miss. I miss apple pie. And I will have some when I earn it. And that's okay. All right? But what is kind of comforting is you don't know what you don't know. So you don't know what you really miss in life until you cut it out, do without it for a little while, and you'll start realizing, like, oh, I really don't need that. I don't really need Pop-Tarts. I don't really need donuts. They're not something I personally crave. I just don't. There's a couple donuts I think I would enjoy once in a while. But as I sit here talking to you, so far I've only had what I got this morning, okay, thus far in my day. I've had 2 cups of coffee, and I've had a pepper. Peppers have some sweetness in them, and they're juicy and they're cold. And they're less carbs than an apple. But apples are okay too. Like, so I kind of want that in the morning. That might be a diabetic thing. I'm not really sure. Doesn't matter. I enjoy it. I have one in the morning and kind of satisfies that a little bit, except when I'll skip that when I a couple days a week I do a full intermittent diet expansion, in other words. But that's all I've had. And I'm sitting here and I'm not at all wanting any food. I just don't have the need. Okay, and I haven't eaten since, I don't know, like 10 last night maybe, except for that one pepper. Like a red pepper, although this one was like yellow, but if you know what I mean, like them red peppers. That's what I had today. Okay, I don't have something like that every day actually, but today I wanted one. So I'm like, I'll have one red pepper. Or one pepper. So I don't crave some of those other high glucose, high sugar foods. And one other thing, I know coffee is an appetite suppressant. It might be a hidden trick. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to continue to research that, and I'll share with you what what I learned and experienced. There's probably others, like appetite suppressing concepts. If you like coffee, know that. I know coffee is an appetite suppressant. So that might help a little bit. You know what? Who cares? Have some coffee. Coffee and water are the one thing you can do all day long in a way that to help you move past hunger. Okay? So I'm gonna leave you with all that. All right. I'm gonna start getting a little bit more engaged than I have been. Look forward to that. If and please, if you watch this and you're not somebody that struggles with a mental illness, please share this with someone, because I am doing this for them. Yes, I'm doing it for anybody that's interested, because I think generally people just don't understand what mental illness is, and all it really is the cells underneath are not working the best that they could be. They're unhealthy cells. That's all. And so that's affecting our thinking process. It might make us angrier, upset, get upset at things we shouldn't get upset at. Overstimulated. People that you might know that are, well, I'll tell you this. One of the things that's really fascinating to me as I learn about mental illness in more of a broader sense, there is a lot of connection between the different types of mental illnesses by name, by category, and you break it all down, and a lot of psychiatrists have explained that they are really, at their core, connected a lot. I was just going to start mentioning briefly schizophrenia as a condition is not well defined by a lot of people. The symptoms are, but as far as what's causing it, and ultimately a lot of them break it down to just overstimulus of the brain, overactive, over-energized, being and way overactive imagination. And what's funny about that to me is, in the world of business, and we talk about wanting to motivate people, right? You probably have heard this a little bit here and there. I mentioned it with, what's your why? And, we're like, I don't know, what would you do if I gave you a winning lottery ticket that was worth $1 million? Like, if you had that lottery ticket, it was worth $1 million, and you scratch it off, you're like, holy fuck, $1 million. What would you do? A lot of people would sit there and scratch their head and not be sure. They have no imagination, right? They've been beaten down in life, and they're like, why try? Their imagination has been beat down. Yet the irony is schizophrenia is exactly the opposite. Their imagination is through the roof, right? So we want to be somewhere in the middle. There's nothing wrong with having an overactive imagination, okay? And to those of you who may have some familiarity with what schizophrenia really, does, yes, it can be extremely harmful when you believe your imagination. That's where the struggles happen, right? In harmful ways. So, but the concept or the ability to be able to imagine is lost on people in just your everyday working society. They don't even care anymore. So it's like you have two extremes. Anyway, I'm going to sign off today. You're going to start seeing me get a little bit more engaged, because frankly, after talking with my daughter last night, I love her to death. My family's my biggest why, in a very selfish way. I want my family back in a sense that, I'm not their sick dad. But I have another why. Maybe a lesser why. My daughter, my children, are more important to me than society. That's a selfish, but I also feel like I want to thank God for being there with me. Best way I know how to thank Him is helping His people. So, that's one of my whys, and I want anyone watching and tagging into this, share it with people. If you like the videos, it's great. I don't really know how YouTube is working that way yet. I'll figure it all out one day. But please share it with someone who's struggling. Okay? They need this. So y'all have an awesome day. I'm so excited to be moving forward in it's a little bit of a pioneering type of thinking, but thank God for those who have been working on this up till now. I'm just going to be a product of health thanks to them, and I want to pass that on to you. I want you to know. So y'all have an awesome day. Love y'all. Bye.